Two cars, two philosophies, one ultimate question. On one side, you have the undisputed king of straight-line speed, a Silicon Valley prodigy that tore up the rulebook and rewrote it in binary. It's a car that represents the relentless, disruptive march of technology. On the other, a titan of German engineering, born from a century of motorsport legacy, with performance coursing through its very circuits. A car that proves soul and electricity are not mutually exclusive. This is the Tesla Model S Plaid versus the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. And it's more than just a comparison, it's a clash of automotive cultures. Innovation versus tradition. The digital frontier against old-world craftsmanship. It's the question that has lit up forums, comment sections, and racetracks all over the globe. Which of these electric titans is the true king? Everyone wants to know. Is it the car with the mind-bending numbers, the one that can out-accelerate almost anything with four wheels? Or is it the one that promises a connection to the road so pure it speaks to the very soul of driving? Today, we're settling it. We're not just reading spec sheets. We're taking these cars to the limit. We'll test everything, from the brutal, gut-punching violence of a 0 to 60 launch and the razor's edge of track handling, all the way to the quiet, everyday moments. Which car is actually better to live with? By the end of this, the debate will be settled, and you'll know which one truly deserves your money. Let the battle begin. The tale of the tape. Specs breakdown. Before we unleash these monsters, let's break down the numbers. On paper, this is a story of two radically different approaches to electric performance. This isn't just about the stats. It's about the philosophy behind them. First, in the blue corner, representing Silicon Valley and the bleeding edge of software on wheels, we've got the Tesla Model S Plaid. For years, this car has been the benchmark. The heart of the Plaid is its tri-motor powertrain, one motor up front, two in the back. This setup unleashes a staggering 1,020 horsepower. Let that sink in. Over 1,000 horsepower in a family sedan. That translates to a 0 to 60 time that is frankly hard to process. Tesla claims 1.99 seconds, though real-world results consistently put it in the 2.1-second range. A kick so hard it feels like it might just rearrange your internal organs. The battery is a big 100 kilowatt-hour pack, which gives the Plaid its other trump card, range. The official EPA estimates fall anywhere from 359 to 402 miles depending on the wheels you choose. But in our real-world highway testing, a more realistic figure is around 280 to 310 miles, which is still deeply impressive. The price for all this speed starts around $96,000, which presents one of the most absurd performance-per-dollar deals on the market today. Now, in the opposite corner, hailing from Stuttgart, Germany, and carrying the weight of a legendary racing heritage, we have the Porsche Taycan in its most potent form, the Turbo GT. Porsche's numbers are a bit more complex. Normally, its dual-motor setup gives you 777 horsepower, but engage launch control and an overboost function unleashes a temporary face-melting peak of 1,019 horsepower, with some versions even seeing peaks of 1 to 92. It's a different way to get to that four-digit power figure, but no less effective. The Taycan's secret weapon, however, is something the Tesla doesn't have, a two-speed gearbox on the rear axle. The first gear is for that explosive off-the-line punch. The second is for high-speed efficiency, giving it longer legs at Autobahn speeds. It's a brilliant piece of classic mechanical engineering in a futuristic car. This wizardry results in a 0 to 60 time that has recently shocked the world. While Porsche officially claims 2.1 seconds, independent tests with the track-focused Weissach package have clocked it at a scarcely believable 1.89 seconds. Suddenly, the Plaid's dominance is under serious threat, but this performance comes at a serious cost. The Taycan Turbo GT starts at a jaw-dropping $230,000, nearly 2.5 times the price of the Plaid. On top of that, its EPA range is significantly lower, estimated around 270 miles for the Turbo GT model. So the stage is set. The Tesla is the value champion of raw power and range. The Porsche is the pedigreed, pricier challenger, armed with sophisticated German engineering and a new claim to the acceleration throne. Now, it's time to see what those numbers feel like in the real world. The main event. Performance showdown. Spec sheets are one thing. The visceral reality of putting 1,000 electric horsepower to the pavement is another entirely. This is the main event. To be absolutely sure we've controlled the variables, both cars are charged to an identical 90% state of charge, and tire pressures are set to factory spec. This is where the debate gets settled. First, the one everyone came to see, the standing quarter-mile drag race. Lining them up, the atmosphere is silent. No roaring V8s, just a faint electronic hum and the tension of two machines ready to defy physics. Inside the Plaid, you select drag strip mode and the car begins to precondition, chilling its battery for max power. It's a moment of calm before the storm. In the Taycan, it's simpler. Twist the mode selector to Sport Plus. Left foot on the brake, right foot to the floor. Launch control is active. 3, 2, 1, launch. The feeling in the Model S Plaid is pure, silent violence. There is no build-up, no screeching tires, just instant, all-wheel drive grip that catapults you forward with a force that feels like you've been rear-ended by a freight train. Your head hits the headrest, your vision narrows, and the world blurs. It's so fast it feels artificial, like a video game on fast forward. The Taycan's launch is different. It's just as quick, but it feels more mechanical. You feel that raw, primal shove from the first gear. As it surges forward, there's a distinct blink-and-you'll-miss-it shift as the two-speed transmission kicks into high gear. It adds a layer of drama, a sense of mechanical engagement the single-speed Tesla just doesn't have. As they rocket down the strip, the results are astonishing. In recent head-to-head races, the Taycan Turbo GT has shown it can consistently lay down quarter-mile times in the low 9-second range, with some clocking an incredible 9.06 seconds. The Plaid is right there with it, typically running a 9.2 to 9.3-second quarter-mile. For the first time, the undisputed king of the drag strip has been dethroned. In a straight-up quarter-mile, the Taycan has proven its engineering can overcome the Tesla's raw power. Next, the rolling race, from 50 to 100 miles per hour. This test is all about mid-range pulling power. Here, the Plaid's 1,020 horses should give it an edge. As they cruise side by side, they both explode forward. The Tesla's response is, as always, instantaneous, an immense, unrelenting wave of torque. But the Taycan isn't left for dead. That two-speed gearbox ensures its motors are in their sweet spot, and it stays neck and neck with the Plaid. The difference is marginal, a photo finish that proves both are masters of momentum. Finally, the brake test. Speed is useless if you can't control it. We're doing a full emergency stop from 70 miles per hour. The Plaid's brakes, especially with the optional carbon ceramic kit, bring the car to a stop with authority. But the Porsche? The Porsche is on another level. The brake pedal feel is perfect, firm, progressive, and full of feedback. The standard-issue Porsche ceramic composite brakes bite down with ferocious, confidence-inspiring power. The car remains perfectly stable, no drama, just immense deceleration. In repeated tests, the Taycan consistently stops in a shorter distance. It's not just about stopping power, it's about the feel and repeatability. This is where Porsche's motorsport experience is undeniable. When it comes to shedding speed, the Taycan is the decisive winner. So after the smoke clears, what have we learned? The Plaid's reign as the unchallenged drag strip king is over. The Taycan can not only match, but beat the Tesla in a straight line. But the battle is far from over. Beyond the straight line, handling, and dynamics, straight line speed is a party trick. A spectacular one, but a party trick nonetheless. For a car to be truly great, it needs to conquer corners. So, we've left the runway and brought these titans to a winding ribbon of asphalt. This is where we separate the accelerators from the athletes. Let's start with the Porsche Taycan. The moment you turn the wheel, you understand where that $230,000 went. The steering is sublime. It's perfectly weighted, direct, and, most importantly, it talks to you. You feel every nuance of the road surface right through your fingertips. The car doesn't just turn, it pivots around you. The chassis is a masterpiece of balance. Despite its weight, the Taycan feels agile, planted, and eager to change direction. Porsche's active suspension and rear axle steering work in perfect harmony, making the car feel smaller and lighter than it has any right to be. Push it hard into a corner, and the grip is immense. It stays flat, composed, and utterly unflappable. You can brake deep into the apex, feel the front end bite, and get back on the power earlier than you'd think possible. The torque of vectoring is so seamless, it feels like the car is clawing at the pavement, pulling you through the turn. Critically, the performance is repeatable. Lap after lap, the brakes don't fade, and the battery doesn't overheat. Porsche's mastery of thermal management, honed over decades of racing, means the Taycan can perform at its peak all day long. It is, without exaggeration, a four-door supercar. It is a scalpel. Now, let's get into the Tesla Model S Plaid. Make no mistake, for a big, heavy sedan, the Plaid is astonishingly capable in the corners. The low center of gravity and massive grip mean it can carry incredible speed through a turn. You point it, and it goes. The power out of the corners, thanks to that tri-motor setup, is absolutely explosive. However, it's a totally different story. Where the Porsche communicates, the Tesla insulates. The yoke, while futuristic, offers very little feedback. You're turning, the car is turning, but you don't feel the connection. It's more like a video game controller. You trust the physics, but you're not an active participant in the conversation between the tires and the road. The weight is also more apparent here. It feels less like a scalpel and more like a hammer, an incredibly effective hammer, but a hammer nonetheless. And while Tesla has made huge strides with its track mode and optional brakes, the car's limits are more defined by thermal management. On a track, it can deliver a few breathtakingly fast laps, but it wasn't born and bred for that kind of relentless punishment in the same way the Porsche was. This is where the philosophical divide becomes a chasm. The Model S Plaid is a tech showcase that happens to be phenomenally fast. It uses software and raw power to defy physics. The Porsche Taycan is a sports car that happens to be electric. It uses decades of engineering to work with physics. For sheer driving pleasure, for that intangible feeling of connection and control, there is no contest. The Porsche Taycan is in a league of its own. It's the clear winner when the road gets twisty. Living with a Titan. Daily usability and practicality. Blistering lap times are fantastic, but the reality for 99% of owners is the daily grind, the school run, the grocery haul, the commute. A true performance king has to function in the real world. So, what are these titans like to live with? Let's start with the Tesla. The first thing you notice is the beautiful simplicity of one-pedal driving. The moment you lift off the accelerator, the regenerative braking smoothly slows the car to a complete stop without you ever touching the brake pedal. In traffic, it's a game changer. The ride is generally comfortable, absorbing most bumps with ease. Then there's the yoke. It's still a love it or hate it feature. On a straight highway, it's fine, offering an open view of the dash. But making a three-point turn or navigating a parking garage becomes a clumsy hand-over-hand shuffle that never feels natural. A traditional steering wheel is a no-cost option, but the yoke is a defining feature many find to be a solution in search of a problem. Switching to the Porsche Taycan, the experience feels more car-like. The driving position is perfect, the seats are supportive, and the controls are right where you expect them. Porsche intentionally made the Taycan feel more like a traditional car. It doesn't have a true one-pedal driving mode, lift off the throttle, and it coasts like a gas-powered car. Regeneration is handled by the brake pedal. For EV purists, this feels like a step backward. For driving enthusiasts, it feels natural. The ride is firm, as you'd expect, but the adaptive suspension does an incredible job of taking the edge off sharp bumps. It feels sporty, but never punishing. Now, let's talk practicality, and this is where the Tesla runs away with it. The Model S is a hatchback at heart, and that large rear opening reveals a cavernous trunk. Combined with the massive frunk, the total cargo space is enormous. You can fold the rear seats flat and fit furniture, multiple large suitcases, or a week's worth of camping gear. The spacious back seat has plenty of room for 3 adults. It's a genuine family car that just happens to be faster than a hypercar. The Porsche, by comparison, is much less practical. It's a traditional sedan with a smaller trunk. The total cargo space is less than half what the Tesla offers. The back seat is also tighter, making it more of a comfortable 4-seater than a true 5-seater. If you're hauling people in gear, the Tesla is the undisputed champion. It's not even close. Finally, and maybe most importantly for an EV, is range and charging. Here again, the scales tip heavily in Tesla's favor. With an EPA estimated range approaching 400 miles, the Plaid simply goes further on a charge. But the real victory is the Tesla supercharger network. It is the gold standard. The stations are plentiful, reliable, and dead simple to use. You pull up, plug in, and the car starts charging. It's a seamless experience that no other network has managed to replicate. The Porsche operates at a disadvantage. Its range is shorter, meaning more frequent stops on a road trip. It does have an ace up its sleeve, an 800-volt architecture that allows for incredibly fast charging up to 320 kilobars. That means it can theoretically go from 10% to 80% in under 20 minutes. The catch? You have to find a public charger that can actually deliver that speed. The Taycan relies on third-party networks that are notoriously less reliable than Tesla's, often with broken chargers or slow speeds. In the contest of daily life, it's a split decision. For pure practicality, space, range, and ease of charging, the Tesla Model S Plaid is the runaway winner. It's the more sensible and versatile daily driver. But for the pure act of driving, even on a mundane commute, the Taycan offers a more engaging and rewarding experience. The clash of philosophies, interior, tech, and luxury. Step inside these two cars and you step into two different worlds. This is where the core philosophies of Silicon Valley and Stuttgart are on full display. It's a battle of the screen versus the switch. Let's enter the Tesla Model S Plaid. The interior is one word: minimalist. Your eyes go straight to the massive 17-inch horizontal touchscreen. This screen is the command center for everything: navigation, music, climate control, wipers, even opening the glove box. Physical buttons are virtually extinct. This creates an incredibly clean, uncluttered, futuristic look. It feels less like a car and more like a high-end electronic device. The cabin is spacious and airy, but this is also where Tesla gets its biggest criticism: build quality. While it has improved, it just doesn't feel like a car that costs almost 6 figures. You'll find hard plastics and the occasional inconsistent panel gap. It feels like the focus was on the technology, not the tactile craftsmanship. It's an interior you admire for its intelligence, not one you want to touch and feel. Now, open the solid, heavy door of the Porsche Taycan, and the contrast is immediate. The philosophy here isn't minimalism, it's curated luxury. You're greeted by the smell of high-quality leather and the sight of impeccable craftsmanship. While the Taycan is also packed with screens, they're integrated into a design that still feels like a car. Critically, Porsche kept physical buttons for essential functions. There's a satisfying click to the switches. The materials are exquisite. Everything you touch, the metal trim, the Alcantara, the perfectly stitched leather, feels expensive. The build quality is flawless, a Porsche hallmark. This cabin has been obsessed over by designers and engineers, not just programmers. The tech is excellent and serves the driving experience. It doesn't dominate it. It's a cockpit designed for the serious business of driving, but swathed in absolute luxury. This is the most profound difference between them. The Tesla Model S Plaid is a revolutionary piece of technology that you happen to drive. It's for the tech enthusiast who values function over form. The Porsche Taycan is a masterfully crafted luxury sports car that happens to be electric. It's for the connoisseur who values the feel of premium materials and the satisfaction of a perfectly weighted switch. To put it simply, you use the Tesla's interior. You experience the Porsches. In the battle of luxury and build quality, the victory goes unequivocally to Porsche. The final verdict, conclusion and wrap-up. So, after all the tests, we're back to the original question. Which is the true king? The answer is clear. It depends on what you believe a king should be. There is no single winner, because these two cars are masters of two very different kingdoms. The Tesla Model S Plaid is the king of numbers, the monarch of metrics. If your priority is the absolute best performance per dollar, the choice is the Plaid. For under $100,000, you get a car that can out-accelerate hypercars. If your priority is maximum practicality, its enormous space makes it a peerless family hauler. And if you want a stress-free EV, its superior range and the flawless supercharger network make it the undisputed champion of easy ownership. The Model S Plaid is a triumph of engineering efficiency. It's the logical, rational choice. It's the hammer, brutally effective, powerful, and gets the job done with overwhelming force. The Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, on the other hand, is the king of experience, the sovereign of soul, the master of the intangible sensations that define the art of driving. If your priority is the ultimate driving experience, the steering feel, the chassis balance, the brake confidence, the Taycan is in a class of its own. It connects with you on a deeper, more emotional level. If your priority is impeccable build quality and true luxury, its cabin is a masterclass in craftsmanship. And if you want a car that can withstand the punishment of a racetrack, lap after lap, the Taycan's motorsport DNA shines through. The Taycan is a triumph of automotive passion. It's the emotional, aspirational choice. It's the scalpel, precise, sharp, and a joy to wield. Ultimately, this battle confirms the clash of philosophies we started with. Silicon Valley versus Stuttgart, the disruptor versus the dynasty. Choose the Tesla Model S Plaid if you want to own the future of transportation. A supercomputer on wheels that prioritizes speed, range, and practicality above all else. It's the smartest car in the room. Choose the Porsche Taycan if you want to own the future of the sports car. A machine that proves electrification doesn't have to kill driver engagement, luxury, and soul. It's the best driver's car in the room. So, the final decision rests with you. The head or the heart, the numbers or the feeling. Which king would you crown? The record-breaking Tesla Model S Plaid or the driver-focused Porsche Taycan Turbo GT? Let us know which one you would park in your garage in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this definitive EV showdown, prove it. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next battle. Thanks for watching.